me shelter, shelter. Simple life, it's all we want to live. Give me food, give me clothes, give me love, and give me shelter, shelter. Yeah.
Good afternoon, good evening, and good morning, depending on where you're watching from around the world. Tonight's episode is just pretty much an episode that is so close to home. And I want us to pay keen attention tonight as I go about to get this particular episode started. Title for tonight here is Rebuilding the Liberian Moral Compass, Using Social Media to Strengthen, Not Shatter Our Community. I'm your host, Ayiti Williams. Tonight is our We Too podcast special. On tonight's or this morning and this evening, depending on where you're watching from across the globe, our beloved sons and daughters, fathers and mothers, youth and elders, logging in from Monrovia, Kakata, Buchanan, Bunger, and right here in the diaspora. Tonight, I want you to pause from scrolling, pause from the heated comments, pause from post after post that tears down rather than lifts up. Ask yourself this question: is the way you use Facebook and other social platforms building hope or breaking spirits? I think this is pretty much a critical topic that we need to really bring to the forefront, especially with the growing number of division that is, or has completely just devastated our community in a lot of different ways, shape, and form. So this episode is not just another talk. It's actually a moral call to conscience. It's a journey into understanding who we could be in the digital space if we choose responsibility, respect, and Pan-African brotherhood over negativity, division, and slander. So let's begin with history. The question that I want to ask first here is why it was founded. That's Facebook and its global impact. As we all know, Facebook actually began in 2004 when a Harvard student named Mark Zuckerberg created the Facebook, not as a weapon, not as a battlefield, but as a way for people to connect and communicate with one another, from university dorms, we can say dorm rooms, to the rest of the world. It expanded rapidly, transforming human interaction, connecting communities beyond borders and ocean. Zuckerberg later explained that the fundamental mission was to give people the power to build community and bring the world closer together. And in its best moment, Facebook has delivered on that promise. Families reconnecting after years apart, people finding long lost friends, communities launching initiatives for education, health, and peace. These are not theoretical statements, they are live reality for millions. Across Africa, Facebook has become a primary way for people to access the internet, to engage civil society, to mobilize around causes, and amplify voices that were once unheard. So if you have just tuned in, this is the We to Our Liberals Movement podcast. Again, I'm your host, C.H. Williams. Tonight, our show is titled Rebuilding the Liberian Moral Compass, using social media to strengthen, not shatter our community. So if you have tuned in, I ask that you kindly begin to share the live with as many people as possible. We're going to go ahead and try to break this down in the simplest way possible. Now, yet, as with every tool, there is the light side and the shadow side. So let's consider this segment of uh, tonight's, this afternoon or this evening episode as part two, the misuse when social media harms community. We cannot shy away from this very truth. Liberian election, for example, like many processes in our democratic journey, have been impacted by social media, both positively and negatively. During past election cycles, inflammatory and hateful messages have circulated, stirring tension, mistrust, and even violence. Facebook itself has grappled with similar issues globally. Zuckerberg has publicly acknowledged the challenges of misinformation, polarization, and sensationalism. Nothing that, while giving people a voice, is a force for good. It can also fragment our shared sense of reality. Again, if you have tuned in, you're watching the We Too Liberals Movement podcast. This is the podcast to speak to and for the masses. We say we are not in the business of manufacturing players, pimps, and hustlers, but rather we say we are in the business of changing, revolutionizing the thought process about people not only in Liberia, but even around the world. So tonight's episode is titled Rebuilding the Liberian Moral Compass, Using Social Media to Strengthen, Not Shatter Our Community. Again, I'm your host, C.H. Williams. Thank you for tuning in. And if you've come across the live, you begin to share the live with as many people as possible. So let's look at part three of tonight's episode, which is a Pan-African call, moral conscience and community building. Liberians are Africans, and our heritage calls us to unity, dignity, and collective uplift. As Kwame Nkrumah powerfully reminds us, it's clear that we must find an African solution to our problems, and that this can only be found in African unity. He also said, I am not African because I was born in Africa, but because Africa was born in me. These words challenge us not to retreat into tribalism, bitterness, or the followers tearing down of others, but to rebuild our moral compass in a way that reflects respect, responsibility, brotherhood, collective upliftment. In Pan African philosophy, we find that our strength comes from unity, not in isolation or division. One African proverb says, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. This applies just as much online or online as it does offline. Again, if you've tuned in, you're watching the We Too Our Liberals Movement podcast. Platforms is our We Too Our Liberals Movement special podcast tonight. We hope that this podcast or this live is going to resonate with a few folks, especially those who are influencers, those who are bloggers, and with all these heated arguments, we want to sensitize our people. We want to kind of, just speak to their moral conscience to see how we could use this Blue app in a more positive way that we can, continue to empower our brothers and sisters rather than to tear our brothers and sisters down. So now, let's look at part four, alternative solutions using social media for good. So what are the practical ways Liberians, bloggers, influencers, and everyday users can transform Facebook from a battleground to a community builder? Here are several alternatives and actionable solutions. One, promote constructive dialogue. Encourage discussions that uplift ideas, solutions, and mutual respect. Excuse me. Two, use your influence for social good. Share stories of community resilience, positive local heroes, and grassroots development. Support, that's 3, digital literacy. Help your followers understand how to identify misinformation and inflammatory content. 4, which is one of our last points. Amplify peace messages. During elections, national debates, and social challenges, choose platforms as sites for peace building, not destruction. Now, finally, collaborate across borders. Connect Liberians community or Liberian communities with broader African and diaspora networks to build unity and shared purpose. Now, part 5 of tonight's episode. Questions for our audience tonight to actually engage and reflect. Now, I want you to actually reflect with these questions, either aloud or in your own silence. Why do I post what I post? To build or break? When I see harmful content, do I report it, educate others, or amplify it? That's another question. 3, how can I use my voice to promote respect within the Liberian and African community online? What stories of resilience or progress can I share that inspire rather than incite? How will I hold myself accountable to be a digital moral leader for the next generation? In closing, which is actually a transformative call to mind and action. Again, if you have just tuned in, you're watching the We Too Our Liberians Movement podcast. Tonight's episode is actually titled Rebuilding the Liberian Moral Compass, using social media to strengthen that Shatter, our community. This is actually going to be an ongoing topic, but we just want to use this particular medium or this conduit on tonight's episode, or on this morning or afternoon episode, depending on wherever you are, to kind of sensitize, to speak to the moral conscience of citizens, well-wishers who are in constant use of these social media platforms, or the social media platform, especially Facebook. So tonight, Liberians, we have revisited history, confronted truth, and re-inspired hope. Remember this: social media is a tool, but it's we who shape its impact. Let us choose respect over ridicule, unity over division, collective uplift over individual attack. In the words of Kwame Nkrumah, divided we are weak, united, Africa could become one of the greatest forces for good in the world. The moral compass of our digital community must point towards healing, not hurting, towards building, not breaking. As Liberians, at home and abroad, let us lead the world, not just in voice, but in virtue. Until next time, I'm your host for the We Too Our Liberians Movement podcast, Pacho. Again, I guess you all know who am I? See Ayiti Williams. Keep building, keep uniting, keep strengthening our community online and in every heart you touch. Thank you very much for tuning in tonight. I look forward to another episode here, maybe the next couple of days. Have a good night, good morning, good day. God bless you. Have a good one. Bye.
Simple life. It's all we want to live. Give me food, give me clothes, give me love, and give me shelter. Simple.